How's everyone doing? Welcome into MTV The Challenge Rival 3 recap show. I'm Zach Hummel, and I'm joined as always by Stevie B. We're both Ledge contributors. What's going on, Steve?
Not too much. How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. We had a pretty wild and crazy episode last night on the challenge. Probably the best of the season so far, to be honest. A lot to talk about. Well, we can start with episode picked off. Uh, we finally got our night out on the town in Mexico. A lot of shots, a lot of crying, a lot of drunk girls. At the center of it was Ashley, who Jamie, the prison guard, fucked on the first night, and I don't know what's going on with that situation. I think she thought they were in a relationship, and Jamie didn't really care, and she thought that Jamie kissed Nicole, who's Nani's cousin, but Jamie didn't, and she kind of went on a tirade. You can obviously see why they picked her for the show. She's batshit crazy.
Yeah, I think we saw a little bit of that with her on the Real World before she got kicked off of that season. And yeah, it's just really interesting what's going on with her and Jamie. Sort of later on in the episode, she insinuated that they had sort of hooked up more than once. That she said it's been going on all week or something. But I mean, she's just crazy. I think that probably everybody knows a girl that when they go out, they just get way too hammered and become unbearable. And I mean, I wouldn't be able to stand her if I was in the house. And she just gets absolutely ridiculous when she gets drunk.
Yeah, definitely not. And how about Camilla trying to talk her off the ledge in the bathroom? Usually Camilla, she's the one that's throwing chairs and going on these tirades, and she's actually kind of the mom in this situation, which is a kind of a change of pace for her. One of the lines I remember from the episode, um, Nicole was trying to go in the bathroom when Ashley was crying, and Ashley thought Jamie obviously kissed Nicole, and she said, "Piss your pants, bitch." I thought that was maybe the line of the season so far. Nicole didn't seem as drunk as Ashley. Obviously, I don't think anyone was, but she just kind of shook it off, and she came back with the line, "I would never kiss a prison guard," which I thought was also another hilarious line. Jamie kind of getting thrown under the bus both ways was kind of a downer for him.
Yeah, that was a great scene right there. I mean, I'm sure Nicole probably had no idea what was going on when she walked into the bathroom, and just all of a sudden, you know, it's 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 ridiculous scene in there. But yeah, that was great when she told her to piss her pants.
I would have just pissed my pants right there just to show her, nothing really, you know, phases me. But another thing, Corey came to her. Corey's her partner in the game, obviously, and Corey was on the Real World with her. He kind of came to her, side to calm her down because if she gets kicked out, he gets kicked out. And I almost thought it was kind of a weird vibe, like they were almost gonna hook up. She was wasted. He was kind of moving towards her, and Corey's always down. I mean, he on last season he fucked Anissa, which if you do that, you really have no standards. So I thought there was gonna be something popping off between the rivals there.
Yeah, that's funny you say that because I got that same vibe. I think a lot of people probably thought the same thing was going to happen there, and who knows? Maybe it still will later on down the road. But yeah, that was interesting that both Camilla and Corey had to be the voice of reason last night to calm her down.
Yeah. So after that, the morning after, Jamie kind of they had a conversation with I think Nani. He's discussing whether him and Ashley have a future. I'm like, you're on the challenge, dude. You don't need to discuss this thing. It seemed like the producers almost set that scene up to kind of put those two together so they can kind of build the whole season. I thought that was pretty weird because I don't think Jamie really cares about her. I think they're just hooking up. They both kind of feel that way.
Yeah, I feel the same way that Jamie, he's just there, probably just wants to have some fun, and all of a sudden everybody's building it up like they're in a relationship, and that's probably making him a little bit nervous right now.
Yeah, and so after that, we kind of get to the challenge of the episode. It was maybe the most sexual challenge in MTV The Challenge history. So everyone got into short, skimpy bathing suits and bikinis, and they had to bump and grind on this bar of soap, I think it was, to find some numbers, and they had to hang up some clothespins or whatever once they get those numbers. But this is MTV going back to the well, doing what they do best, getting good-looking people to just bump and grind. And we also had a replacement team come in. It was Nelson and Amanda from Are You the One? I don't know either of those people, but I did some research because, that's the difference on the ledge. And Nelson actually played college football. So, I mean, he might be a pretty good competitor in the end if they don't get eliminated, obviously, in this round. What do you think about that challenge?
Yeah, it was definitely interesting. I think that at the end of the challenge there, TJ sort of threw us that curveball saying that nobody's going to get eliminated. And after thinking about it, I think maybe sort of the producers might have had that challenge in their back pocket as like, hey, we're going to go to this, it's something fun to do, something that will get people to watch the show, but the challenge part of it isn't really going to matter. So let's just, let them have a little bit of fun out there, bring in the whole sex aspect of it, and get people talking about it. But I was surprised when TJ said there's not going to be any Jundle from this. So I think they just sort of put that together as something that was just something that would allow them to have a little fun, because it really wasn't that much of as far as challenges go, it wasn't something that was all that difficult and really required that much teamwork or anything like that.
Yeah, not only did TJ throw that twist of no elimination, he said he's going to throw them a party at the house, which, is great for TJ. It's great. I hope he shows up because seeing him talk to these castmates would be so funny. But anyways, with the challenge, a lot of the younger teams took it real seriously and were actually trying to, hump the bar of soap until they could read the numbers, but they didn't take strategy into hand. And Wes and Nani, the two veterans that they are, they just did enough humping to see the numbers they needed. And then Ashley, again, kind of puts herself out there to get more camera time. And she starts moaning while she's doing the challenge, and everyone starts cracking up on the sidelines. I thought that was a pretty funny moment during the episode.
Yeah, that was sort of absolutely ridiculous, and I'm not sure if part of me wants to believe that Ashley is just a camera whore and she's doing this stuff for attention, but then there's
Yeah,
another part of me that believes that she's just absolutely batshit crazy. So I can't really decide which one it is yet. I think maybe it's a little bit of both. She knows how to get the attention, but deep down inside, she really is just a crazy person.
yeah. Her and Simone seem to be kind of trying to whore themselves out, maybe to get on the next challenge, maybe to, after this, be able to be booked for clubs and shit. Because I think that's what these people do. They come on here, try to win money, then try to become reality stars. But after the challenge, TJ obviously announced, like you said, Steve, that there wasn't going to be elimination. And the new team, Nelson and Amanda, TJ gave them, they had to pick two teams to go out to dinner with them. And a lot of the teams, especially the veterans, were sketched out. They thought this could be a secret elimination. They ended up picking Bananas and Sarah, which are pretty much the number one team left. And they picked Simone and Thomas, her partner. And it ended up that they just, they went out to eat. They drank and they talked about kind of the challenge and got to know each other a little bit. I thought that was kind of weird. You never really see that on the challenge where they go out to eat with each other.
Yeah, I was definitely expecting some sort of twist to come from that. So it was interesting that it just ended up being dinner and drinks. I thought it was pretty funny when Amanda, she claimed that she was going to try to act crazy, but turns out that I think she actually is crazy. We saw that a little bit later on once they got done with dinner. But yeah, that was definitely interesting, and it definitely surprised me and probably everybody that no twist did come out of that dinner.
Yeah, and obviously Bananas playing people like a fiddle again. He goes to the dinner. He starts saying, "Oh, you're my favorite. Are you the one team?" Just playing the game, get him on his side. And one weird storyline of the episode was Simone and Wes. I think she was at the dinner and she said Wes is sexy in his own way. And Bananas like, yeah, he's a ginger, which I am. So, I mean, a black girl saying that to a ginger is kind of crazy, but I thought that was really weird, Simone saying that. Maybe she just wants more camera time because she knows Wes is one of the big dogs in the season.
Yeah, that was interesting too. When after the dinner was over, and she sort of had a little heart to heart there with Wes, and he was just he wanted none of that. I'm sure he was pretty drunk at that point too, but he just flat out told you, basically sorry if I led you on, and they went back and played some clips from them at the club where it looked like Wes was a little touchy feely with her, and he probably did give her the wrong impression, but he let her know that he was not interested at all.
Yeah, one thing I noticed from the challenge, all the guys had their shirts off. A lot of the guys seemed like they didn't train for this season. Especially it was evident with the prison guard Jamie. He was humping that thing, and he just had fat rolls. Usually, I thought, last season I think he was a little more in shape, but it seems like a lot of the guys this season have put on weight. But you also don't have the Goliaths like Zach who are cut like a statue. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Um,
But the episode ended with, obviously, like you mentioned, Amanda just kind of piping off, kind of trying to assert her dominance, which kind of a sketchy move for an Are You the One person on their first season, because she was going at the big dog. She was going at Tony, Wes, Bananas. I think that might bite him in the butt.
yeah, I agree with you there. And like you said earlier, it seems like she just wants to come in and make a name for herself. And, she started making trouble and going after the big dogs on the show. But Johnny Riley there had to sort of put her in her place, which was funny to see.
Yeah, what
Um,
did what did he say there?
I think he said he was like, "What's your name again?" or something like that.
Yeah,
And uh, it was just, kind of a she was getting a little bit too big for her britches there, and he sort of just put her back down to size, like, "Hey, you're nobody when it comes to the challenge, so sort of slow your roll here."
yeah, that was really funny. He's usually good for one of those one-liners, but I just think these Are You the One teams, they don't do anything for me. I just don't think they bring anything to the season. But, obviously the producers are picking these people from Are You the One because they're crazy or they have something crazy going on. They're either wicked good athletes or just, batshit crazy like Amanda. So hopefully no other teams get eliminated like Avery and Leroy did, so we don't have to see any more Are You the One people. But
Yeah,
I think, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I completely agree. As I mentioned last week, I was hoping that they weren't going to bring in an Are You the One replacement. So when I saw them come in, I was disappointed. And it almost got to the point with me where I was sort of thinking, like, is the challenge passing me by? Like who are these cast members? If it continues down this route, probably in a season or two, I'm not going to know any more of them. Um, I think I'd like to actually see them go back to a sort of fresh meat to get some fresh faces in there and go away from this "Are You the One" trend, because neither of us have ever seen the show, and I don't know how many challenge fans actually watch that show.
Yeah, I really don't need another show I have to watch because, I mean, if they keep pulling Are You the One, I might have to start watching just so I can get scouting reports on that front. But I think that's it for this episode. Like you said, there was no elimination, no real drama other than kind of drunk girls just yelling and screaming, that's a challenge history. I mean, you see that every episode. But in the preview to next episode, they show Nani and Camilla getting into it a little bit during that party that TJ is going to throw for them. So, maybe we'll have some veteran blood on our hands at that point instead of these Are You the One people just kind of going off the rails.
Yeah, that definitely looks like it could be interesting. Both Nani and Camilla are both known to, be a little bit crazy. So if, once there's drinking involved and the two of them are going to go at it, that's definitely going to be entertaining for next week.
Yeah. So that's all I got, unless you got any other thoughts or anything you think we missed during the episode we didn't touch on.
No, I think we covered everything really. I thought it was good from a drama standpoint and sort of so from a competition standpoint. I mean, so far this season, they haven't given us an episode that have combined both the drama and the competition aspect. So hopefully we'll get some of that next week. I mean, we're already going to see, Nani and Camilla go at it. So, I mean, it looks like we're going to get the drama and most likely a jungle next week. So I'm looking forward to that episode.
Yeah, they got to give us jungles with every episode because the way they're doing it this season, that's what people are living on. I mean, they throw three teams in, and then two of the teams, it's pretty much a random drawing to see who gets into the jungle. I mean, that's what we come to the challenge for, the dramatics and the storylines. And if you don't have that in an episode, you know, it's really nothing that special, to be honest.
Yeah,
But
hopefully next week we'll have a couple teams going in there, and you know, mixed in with the drama, and we'll have some good stuff to talk about.
yeah, so I think that wraps it up. Episode 3, MTV The Challenge Rivals 3 recap show. Join us next week. We'll be breaking it down for you guys. All right, see you, Steve.
All right, take it easy.